for your values and fight for your friends. Fight through this blight, find the light at the end. Through the age of the dragon, the people will talk of the day they were saved by a hero named Hawk.
You're listening to Reignite, a podcast about the follies of the past. I'm Frankie.
And I am at AK Stormageddon.
And Varric has yet another story for Cassandra about the champion. Hawk and their sibling are being harassed by Carta thugs, but their motivations make no sense. Once at their hideout, Hawk discovers their link to an ancient evil and must decide whether to kill the creature or bind it into service.
Bum, bum, bum.
So this is called Legacy. It is another adventure for Varric to tell Cassandra. They set up the narrative for us in that darkened interrogation room where Cassandra paces back and forth, and we find out that the Carter dwarves have been coming after Hawk and their sibling, whether it is Bethany or Carver, and they keep attacking both Hawk siblings.
Yeah, this mission, I remembered vaguely the villain of the mission, and that's it. I didn't remember how we got here, how you fight him. Oh, and I did remember one of the characters who leads us through the dungeon that we'll meet in a minute. But that was it. I had no idea why or how, and I remembered this mission feeling fairly disjointed, and I think I've come away feeling sort of the same. We'll talk about it when we get there.
Yeah, this chasm is a blind spot on the map. Nobody knows anything about it. There's a lot of banter in this mission, I will say that.
Yeah, they recorded in a lot of extra lines. There's some great back and forth. Like, there's an opportunity when you're talking to your sibling and Varric about them coming after you. Varric is basically like, oh, yeah, well, we're here and we should figure out a way to put it to a stop. And you can choose a sarcastic answer, which I did, which was, oh, maybe it's just a huge misunderstanding. And Varric goes, oh, Hawk, I thought you meant Locke. My bad. It's just a very funny exchange.
I like the exchange that Bethany follows up with, which is her being like, I can't believe you two can joke at a time like this. And Varric saying, don't worry about it, sunshine. The laughter hides the pain.
Yeah, I think Carver just plays along with the joke. Carver is very amenable in this mission, like as if being in the Wardens has like sharpened him up a bit, like because he was kind of unruly and angry all the time before the
I would have said that
Wardens.
It chilled him the fuck out.
Yeah, I mean that's the sense I get because he's actually
because
pleasant
now
to be
he's
around.
standing on his own 2 feet,
Right,
and he's not constantly in your shadow. I think that's why he was always such a shithead.
Yeah. And so he is just, and you're right, there is a lot of back and forth banter here. I'm guessing they just recorded a lot of throwaway lines for the mission, which on the one hand I like, but also as we're playing through the dungeon, I feel like they never shut up, which is a little annoying.
Never shut up. And also the conversation keeps going while you're fighting.
Yes, it doesn't
and I
stop.
cannot hear them.
Yeah, in modern games, when this happens, typically a character will stop speaking, you'll have the combat, and then one of the characters will say to the other, oh, where was I? And then continues the conversation. I noticed
that is a newer feature, especially in Veilguard, that I noticed, which I appreciate, because I do want to hear your conversation, but there's also other stuff going on.
Yeah. As far as the mission goes, the combat is just same as it ever was. Waves of Carter dwarves.
We do have to fight Brontos now.
Yeah.
That is new.
And like a couple of puzzles in the sense of you just have to find some keys. Very annoying in the outer area in the Carter base camp. Like there's one key that's like 2 flights down and around a corner from where you need to go, and you have to go all the way back.
Oh, yeah.
It's not super far, but like why this seems like padding for no reason other than to pad
It
it.
didn't even occur to me because I was down there anyway, because I'm like, I have to snoop in all the places. I
Yeah.
have to look for everything. What if there is a treasure chest here? I must open it.
Right. Whereas I went to the lock gate first with Varric, and he went, "Sorry, I can't do that." And I was like, "That's bullshit. You usually can. This is story bullshit."
I know I have maxed out. I maxed out that skill.
Yeah, you basically have max points. There's no way you can't do it.
Me too. It was
Um,
very frustrating for me as a rogue to be like, what do you mean I can't pick this lock? This is an extremely rude situation you've put me in.
so yeah, but like the combat is fine. Every time we encounter the Carter dwarves, it seems like they are possessed. It is a very familiar like style of speech. Their eyes are white, as if they are
Oh, yeah.
like possessed by the Darkspawn. Some weird shit is definitely going on.
Yes, we run into a dwarf that Varric knows, Garav, and Varric has this very like upsetting interaction where he's trying to snap Garav out of it, but it's not working. And we also get a little lore about Varric because Garav is the designer behind Bianca. Bianca was the only one that ever worked, repeating crossbow. And it's a very like touching moment for Varric because he's like, this is someone that I respect so deeply and I can't get him to like break free of whatever is controlling him.
Yeah, and if Varric is with you in your party, you can ask him what he wants to do. And Hawk basically goes, "Should we spare him?" And Varric's like, "No, this is a fate worse than death." And Bianca wouldn't want that, or something along those lines.
I said to Varric that I won't make him hurt Garav.
Yeah.
Basically like, this sucks. You should look away.
Yeah.
I'm not going to make you witness me kill your friend.
Yeah.
But then Garav leaps back and he has reinforcements.
And then we fight him and we kill him.
Yeah, which sucks.
Yeah, Varric's
Like-
bummed.
I hate bumming out my friend.
I know.
We also had to fight a dwarf named Radigan.
Yeah, he's an armored dwarf, either a warrior or a paladin. And all of them just keep saying, you know, the master wants the blood, wants your blood. And
The blood!
yeah, definitely.
Give me your blood!
And I feel like my Hawk as a mage is like, this is just bad. I mean, it's bad anyway, but like, it's funny. Like, this mission is mostly designed to be a certain way, no matter what class you play. But like, I feel like my Hawk early on should be going, this is blood magic and it's bad. Like, it should be obvious that there's blood
Yeah.
magic related, but it doesn't
Well,
happen.
Even Bethany says, like, a dwarf blood mage,
Yeah,
that's not a thing.
yeah,
Like, whatever's going on, it is
it can't be that.
more than that.
Yeah,
But when Radigan dies, he's suddenly glowing, and we pick something up from him. For me, it is a weird-looking sickle dagger thing.
for me, it's a like a weird looking anchor style staff. Like, it kind of looks like a long pin or anchor, and yeah, it's a staff to wield.
So, depending on your class, will change what the key looks like. Which, weird, but okay.
Yeah, sure. They should have
There
just
is
made it
ano-
a sword, because like swords always look cool, and just make it a sword that any class can use.
There is a moment where we could choose to go back to Kirkwall and we can store some stuff. Which I was thankful for because I did not want to go back to Kirkwall to sell all my shit, but I needed to put some stuff away.
Yeah, I didn't
Because
use it.
I did inventory management before going, and then I collected so much more stuff that I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna run out of inventory space again. So I stored all of my junk so
Yeah.
I could sell it later.
Yeah, I don't even think I did that. And also, though, I basically stopped looting things. Like, we've got one mission left. I have some of the best gear in the game. I don't need money.
But you could have even better gear. Like the armor set that we got from Mark of the Assassin was better than the champion gear.
So yeah, I'm not wearing the champion gear. I'm wearing a couple of pieces of the DLC gear.
Yeah, that's the
Oh,
Mark of
that's
the
as-
Assassin gear that
as-
I'm talking about.
Oh,
Or
yeah.
are you talking about
in the chest, in the manor.
the Black Emporium?
Yeah. So I
Okay.
have a piece of armor and a helmet from there that's better than everything I find.
All right, well, that's good. I have to go back to Black Emporium and see if there's anything else I can pick up. I don't know how much money I have. So we take the passage down, and now we're sealed in. Yay! We can't go back to Kirkwall, even if we wanted to.
Correct.
And we are assaulted by Darkspawn. Yay!
It is kind of cool to see how the Darkspawn are designed differently in this style.
Yeah. I like to see them evolve.
Mm-hmm.
We encounter a demon that is trapped in a cell, and we have to touch things to unlock it so we can kill the demon. And doing so creates an echo of the past with Hawk's father speaking. And let me just say, whoever voices Hawk's dad, good job.
Yeah,
It's a good voice.
it is. Very sonorous.
Very commanding. But it begs the question, why was Hawk's dad here in the first place?
Yeah, it's clear that it's connected to your dad, but it is unclear why. And with all of the Darkspawn and seemingly blood magic rituals, it doesn't paint a great picture.
We run into a ravaged warden who is talking about magic from the blood that made seals and can destroy them. And he knows all the prison secrets and that the seals hold everyone in. Nothing leaves without the key. But the seals will only open for Hawk because of Hawk's blood. And the only way out is to go down and through the heart.
Yeah, although everyone here, including this warden's name is Larius, calls him the Hawk. They add a the at the front, which is like, okay, sure.
Yeah. I don't know. But yes, Larius is this ravaged warden. He succumbed to the calling. He used to be the commander of the Grey. And the song got so loud that only death would stop it, except he never actually died.
Yeah, it is alluded to that he tried to die or tried to kill himself, and it didn't work. But it is unclear what exactly happened.
Well, we know that the whole process of the Wardens is that eventually the Darkspawn blood gets so powerful that you can't resist it anymore. So instead of going crazy, you go into the deep roads to just kill Darkspawn until you die.
Right. And it's implied that he tried to do that, but didn't end up dying.
Anders at one point says something to the effect of, the worse the corruption gets, the less noticeable you are by the Darkspawn.
Yeah.
So that is how Larius basically gets by, because the Darkspawn are like, that is just another Darkspawn that we don't have to do anything about.
Yeah.
Let's see, what else happened?
As we move through this dungeon and start to break these seals, Anders starts to act strangely, yelling, shouting to get out of his head.
He's struggling more than Bethany is.
Yeah. And Carver as well.
Yeah. And I'm wondering if that's because Justice makes Anders like even more unstable.
It could be. He's also had the blood.
Yeah, he's
longer.
also been a warden longer.
Yeah. And so as we progress through the dungeon, he gets more frantic about the voices he's hearing. It could be exacerbated by vengeance as well. It's unclear.
When you finished killing the demons that Malcolm locked away, how was the conversation with Carver?
I mean, I think it was I'm trying to remember now. I feel like he was kind of very he was like annoyed, he was frustrated.
That makes sense, because what Malcolm says before he fades away is that he hopes that the baby doesn't have any magic because he doesn't want to raise a mage in the world that he's had to deal with.
Yeah.
And for Bethany, that was really hard to hear because she's his only mage kid in my version. And for her, it's upsetting because to hear him say, I don't want to raise another mage, and then she comes along with his magic, would he be proud of her? So she's very sad about it.
That makes sense.
So I tell her that their dad would be proud. And then she gets very mopey. So I try and cheer her up, and it works. And we talk about how we miss our dead family.
Yeah. Carver mentions a hint of stuff that then we talk about when we get back to the manor at the end of the mission, but like how he misses dad, and that he's glad that he at least taught him how to use a sword. Because once he knew he could take care of himself, he felt more confident going off and teaching you how to perfect your magic.
How did the Malcolm stuff make you feel?
Nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Dead dad stuff in media is hit or miss. Sometimes it bothers me more than other times. Yeah. I think this is so fantastical and also so brief that it doesn't hit me. Also,
doesn't relate as much.
I guess. Also, I just don't. This game doesn't have the kind of emotional impact that I feel like other games have had. Like, I think when we get to the Veilguard, and it could be more because it's a modern game too, I might have more there. I think the writing is better in that game versus this game. This game doesn't have bad writing per se, but it doesn't pull at me at like some of the later, like every mission basically in Mass Effect 3 like makes me want to cry. And I think it's it's because of the connection to those characters that I have. I think I also feel more of a disconnect from Hawke than other characters we've played.
Yeah. I think because there's a lot less customization in Hawke. Like, yes, we can make Hawke look however we want, but we're kind of stuck with this pre-gen history of Hawke. Whereas with Shepard, there's a lot more customization.
Mm-hmm.
Same with Origins, there was a lot more customization. We could decide like what culture we're from.
Yeah.
You know, and Hawke is going to have the same background all across every player. Just the difference being, are you a magic boy or a stabby boy?
Yeah. It's there's this gap between me and Hawke. I like the character a lot, but also like none of the responses often feel right. Sometimes the sarcastic ones do, sometimes the sincere ones do, but also the sincere ones just kind of come off as bland a lot of times by the end of the game. It's the same heroic, like, I can't let you do that, or we'll protect you, or I'll stand up for you, which, like, again, I think there's less of an attachment to this character because we are piloting an existing character versus creating a character in all of the other games. Like, even in Inquisition, I think we have more customization. That one still is closer. I think Origins and the Veilguard give you the most customization for a character who you're just thrust into. Inquisition a little less so, and then this is, I think, the least. You're basically playing a pre-established character, which is fine. Like, I would compare it to playing The Witcher, right? Like, Geralt is a character you can influence relationships, how he talks to people, stuff like that in The Witcher, but he's still Geralt. His history is basically locked in stone as far as, with the exception of a few small exceptions in the second game, he is who he is. He was raised how he was raised. And, like, it's, you know, you can get emotionally invested in characters like that, but it really falls on the writing to pull you in and make you feel like you are that person. And I think the way we play this, the way we're playing these games for this series specifically, the whole idea is that we're not someone else. We're ourselves in the shoes of these characters. And there's just less of that with Hawke.
Yeah, I see that. I didn't have any big dad feels for the Malcolm stuff either. I think because Malcolm's just so different from my own dad, and like the experience is so different.
Yeah.
Hawke lost Malcolm when they were very young. Well, maybe not that young. I feel like they were pretty young when it happened, but I don't think we have a definitive age.
I mean, teenager is my guess because they trained them to use their magic. So.
Right. So he must have been around for a little while.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, we just don't get enough of Malcolm for there to be a connection. Like, I was more upset about the Leandra stuff.
Yeah, I mean, you also spend a good 4, 5, 6 hours with the character, maybe more. Like, she's around for a while, and you're interacting with her and helping her and talking to her. So it's very different.
And also, Leandra and my mom have a lot in common.
No comment.
You don't need to comment. I commented.
I know. Still.
Let's see. Okay, so we talked about how Anders is struggling more than Bethany and Carver. Larius talks to us about how Corypheus, that is the name of this creature that we are heading towards, is waking, and that he mimics the old gods, and anyone with taint in their blood can hear him, and he's controlling them as a result. He's more than Darkspawn, more than human. He thinks, he talks, he can access the veil. Bethany and Anders refer to this as Awakened Darkspawn, which we have interacted with before. Yes. Awakened Darkspawn, with the architect and the mother in Awakening.
Yep.
Awaken. Now I get it.
Okay.
Corypheus wants what once was his. He can call through the dreams. But Larius is very insistent. When the seals are gone, he's going to wake up, and you have to kill him.
Yeah. Once, because there's not a lot specifically that goes on until we get to near the end of the dungeon. The one thing is we do pass the Altar of Dumont, which I didn't finish because I didn't have all of the ritual pieces, and you just defiled it.
Fuck Dumont.
Which, I mean, makes sense, but I was just like, I was thinking too meta. I was like, it's a quest. I don't have everything. I'll just keep moving, and then I never went back.
Yeah, I just set it on fire and then fought some demons. It made me feel good about myself.
That's fair. Makes sense.
I found the Paragon's Heir, which is Varric's ancestor. Mm-hmm. Varric got very weepy about it.
Yeah, I did not find that. I don't know if I have in previous playthroughs, but I didn't this time.
I will say that during this little section, fighting deep stalkers and spiders felt like such a downgrade.
Yeah.
Like, Corypheus can brainwash a whole Carta cell and a whole crap ton of Grey Wardens, but he can't manage some pest control.
I know. Yeah, like, what the hell? Also, why were the deep stalkers harder to fight than any of the Darkspawn also? Like, just
it's
annoying.
It's very annoying.
Yeah.
I think that there was too much fighting in this one.
There was. And I'm kind of over the combat system in this game, especially because I have to play it on PC. If I had if it had controller support on PC, it would be more actiony in a way that felt good. But like the clicking to move, clicking to attack, half the time I'm clicking, I try to click an enemy, but I actually click the ground behind him and walk towards him. It's the worst. I hate it. And so I'm very excited to have a controller again in the next game.
Another thing that I wanted to say about this, said that there was too much fighting. I died a lot. So thank goodness that there were a lot of health potions just around. I have to go to the Black Emporium and get more life ward potions, because that's what saved me in the end, was having life ward potions. Because if you drink it at the start of the fight, if someone dies, they will come back to life instead. So it is a nice little buffer so you do not immediately lose someone.
Yeah, the fighting here was pretty hard. My companions would die more than I did. I did mostly okay.
Well, because they're dumb and they don't know to move out of the way.
Yeah. I had to try, we'll get to the final boss later, but I had to try the final boss like 4 times because they all kept dying.
3 for me.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, but this area, there's so much fighting. It's so annoying. So as we move through the space, when we get to like the final like temple area,
base of it,
or the base, right? We're going down, not up. It kicks to a cutscene where Anders is really starting to freak out, is being overwhelmed, and then seemingly vengeance takes over to try and like block out the voices, and then we have to fight him.
Yeah, you just have to beat him up a little bit, and he's like, thank you for smacking me. I definitely needed that.
Yeah.
And something that he says that resonated a little bit was, I guess it's true what they say, you never can leave the wardens.
Yes.
Or you can never leave the wardens. And I'm just like, oh, buddy. Oh, you got so much going on.
Yeah. Anders is really going through it.
Yeah. But at this point...
Thank goodness it won't get any worse with Anders. This is the worst it gets.
This is the worst it gets. Oh, my sweet Anders. Though I did appreciate Anders' banter along this mission,
Yeah.
because he talks about like how much stuff he has going on. And he's like, I'm eventually going to die, like younger than most people because, Warden. I also have justice turning into vengeance inside of me, and also I am leading the Mage Rebellion. Maybe you should find a different boyfriend. And I'm like, nah.
He also comments on how when you first enter this dungeon area, how secluded it is, and it's kind of nice. And maybe they could move the Mage Rebellion here.
And at least no Templars.
Yeah, which is a valid point.
Yeah, very valid. But once we resolve all of that, we can start moving, I guess, down the tower. Like, it's weird. We're going down, then we're going up, then we're going, I don't know. We can start moving down because we are unlocking these seals and fighting these massive demons and adding power to our key.
Yeah, which you get a choice of 4 upgrades every time you do it. I think 3 times. And you can choose a variety of different things that boost your damage, your defense, your crit, all sorts of things.
Yes, I ultimately wound up with electricity damage, health drain, and critical damage.
Stop being me.
You stop being me.
I also chose those exact 3.
Not my fault that I have good taste, and you're a copycat.
Oh yeah, okay. I'm the copycat. I came along first.
Yeah, you are the copycat.
I'm older.
I came out first.
So
how about that?
I came out last.
I know. Just saying. Anyway, we head on towards Corypheus's prison, and Larius shows up to tell us that someone is here, and he explains that the wardens have been listening to Corypheus and we have to stop them.
Yeah, and then we are confronted by a group of 4 wardens led by Janica, and Janica basically says that our dad was a blood mage and helped seal him, but we have to help release him, which on a good day doesn't make sense. So what the hell are you talking about, lady?
Before we played this mission, if you had asked me, I would have sworn up and down her name was Jakarta. Her name is Janica.
Yeah.
Could not remember. But yeah, she explains that the prison was built to contain Darkspawn, or a specific Darkspawn, and the blood magic was used to create the seals, but they were created before Malcolm. Malcolm was there to reinforce the seals.
Yes.
So the demons have been bound in another era, so we don't need to worry about our dad having dealt with demons.
Yeah.
She believes that the wardens are wrong and that Corypheus can be reasoned with, and that she wants to harness him to end the blights. Everybody is basically like, that's insane, except Varric, who's like, why not give it a shot? If it doesn't work, we just kill him. Who cares?
I mean, that's a very Varric line, though.
Yeah. Varric's like, who cares?
I mean, at this point...
In the end, he'll die.
I mean, at this point, Varric has watched us kill abominations, giant dragons. Like, we've literally fought everything. What's another Darkspawn at this point to him?
Yeah. I sided with Larius.
As did I.
Because, yeah, buddy...
This sounds insane. If anyone's like, maybe if you didn't play the first game, you'd go, "Oh, I don't know, that makes sense." But if you have any knowledge of the wardens and the Darkspawn and the Archdemon, you'd be like, "Fuck no."
Can you say Darkspawn for me?
Darkspawn.
There we go. When you say it too fast, there's an R in there, and like an extra R.
Sure.
So yes, we side with Larius. We have to now race. I almost called her Jakarta again. Janeca. We have to race Janeca to... Janeca. We have to race Janeca to Corypheus's prison. And we have to complete some weird puzzles in order to do it.
Yeah, I'm tired of the puzzles in this game at this point. Although I will say the like torch puzzle that's here was actually easier than I thought it would be. I just kind of dabbled connecting things and got out.
Yeah.
So
the first one I think was easy. The second one I got it with like not too
Oh,
much trial and error,
yeah.
but I was very like, please don't make me look up a guide for this. I do not feel like it.
Yeah, same. I'm so I think that while this may not remain my favorite of the franchise, we'll have a total postmortem once we finish the entire franchise. But like playing it at a slower pace definitely doesn't do it any justice because
Because it's so short.
it's so short, and so when you drag it out and really scrutinize it this way, it doesn't hold up under that weight in the same way. Anyway, I'll save that for our postmortem episode, but just what I'm thinking at this point.
I had a lot of trouble with knowing which direction I was going and knowing where I was supposed to go.
Yeah.
I kept doubling back, being like, wasn't I here already? What's happening? And getting very confused. And I thought that I was trying to progress, but Larius kept being like, there is no way back, only forward. I'm like, I'm trying to go forward. But apparently I was in the wrong place.
Larius is very naggy.
Very confused. I was very confused. But we eventually get there, and Janica summons a revenant to attack us, which reinforces, like, girl, you are insane.
Yeah, this is not good.
As we get further in, we are confronted by Janica again, and she lets spill that Larius forced Malcolm into helping by threatening Leandra, which sucks.
Yeah,
But it doesn't change my mind.
No, I did take it poorly initially. I went, basically, what the fuck gave you the right to do that? That's not okay. But then Janica, like, is basically like, so join us. He's clearly terrible. And basically I went, well, that was fucked up. You're still worse. And so, no, I'm still on Larius' side.
Yeah. Exactly. Me too. I was just like, yeah, I mean, no.
Just because he did a bad thing doesn't mean I'm going to extinct the world. What's wrong with you?
Yeah, he did do a bad thing, and he knows that it was a bad thing. He is standing there saying, like, yes, it was fucked up what I did, but I also did not have a choice.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, you probably did, but okay. You probably could have asked him politely, and he probably would have done it.
Yeah.
Okay, so we destroy the last seal. Corypheus emerges, and he claims to be a magister who entered the Golden Kingdom and unleashed the Blight.
And Anders immediately calls bullshit. Like, that's just a story. That's not real.
Yeah.
He's not fond of the fact that you imply that it doesn't matter now, but it could be real. He's like, it's a fairy tale. There's no way. My
response was, I actually do say the same thing. My response was like, we have no way of knowing if it's real. Everybody is dead.
Yeah.
And he's just like, it's just another thing to pin on the mages. I'm like, I mean, you're right.
You're right. But like,
I agree with you. Also, we don't know.
Yeah. I'm also a mage, my friend. I am also annoyed, but like, it doesn't matter right now.
Yeah. I hate this fight.
Yeah, it sucks. So a little bit on Corypheus. He's this mutated mage. The implication is that he is an old world mage from Tevinter who got the power of a god via Dumont. And then when he realizes that you are here to stop him, he attacks you using all of these elemental magics. And basically as a phase-based fight where it starts with him spinning around spewing fire, and you have to... So to free him initially, you have to click on these altars. Then he's freed. Then during the fight, you have to go around clicking on those altars again, which summons demons and then drains some of his power. And the problem with it is your AI follows you pretty closely. So unless you go all the way into those cubbies to fight the demons and wait, they will get killed by the fire every time and quickly.
Yeah. I also tried like planting them in a corner and just being like, stay here, don't fucking move.
Doesn't work.
It did not work.
Yeah.
Did not work. It was just very frustrating because also it's not very clear what you have to do immediately.
No.
I didn't realize that demons were being summoned when I activated the altars the second time, in the first phase. So I'm like running and trying to like get to each altar without being barbecued. And I'm like, why is everybody dying? What are you doing? And there's a horde of demons. Where did you come from?
Yeah.
Because they appear kind of like in corners out of sight.
The same thing happened to me on the first two attempts. Like I just kept trying to run through quickly, and that doesn't work.
Yeah. So you have to like really take your time and do it. And like the first time he just has fire that he spins around. The second time he sets up rock mazes. And the third time is ice.
Falling from the ceiling, yeah.
Yeah, ice falling from the ceiling. And then the final time is lightning.
Yeah, electricity jumping between the rock formations and on the rock
Yeah.
formations.
Yeah. I was so angry. It's overly complicated. It's too many things.
It's overly complicated, and also it's not difficult because once you figure out how to do it, which is how I would do it, is I would pull the whole team into the back of the cubby, then summon the demons. They'd fight in the corner, and then the fire couldn't reach us. Once the fire passed, I would wait and then go do the next one. And so it took twice as long because even if the fire wasn't near us yet after beating the demons, I wanted it to just have passed us so it wouldn't circle back around. And it just took a fight that should have taken, I don't know, 5 minutes and took like 20 or 15. It was very annoying. And like, I love a multi-phase fight. This is reminiscent of some of the MMOs I've played that have multi-phase fight bosses. But like, it just wasn't fun. Like, there was nothing fun about this, especially because you have, well, because you're not playing solo. If we were by ourselves, this would be much better because it would at least be easier. We wouldn't have to worry about our companions because the companion AI is okay at best. They just die a lot unless you are super particular and meticulous about their placement and where you move.
Yeah. Finally, I killed him with a dagger to the eye.
Yeah.
Made me feel good.
Yeah, when I killed him, the only people left alive were me and Varric, and we didn't have much health left. But I did.
I managed to get to the end of the fight with everybody intact, full health. Well, not full health, but like decent health.
Yeah.
Because once I was like, okay, this is what is happening, then I was able to be very meticulous and careful about it.
Yeah.
And also, I gave everyone life ward potions.
Right, which I did not do. But
I
yeah,
need to pick up some of those before that final mission.
I think so too. But yeah, the way I defeat him is I just blast him with my staff with powerful magic.
That's fair. It's fair. And once Corypheus is down, we pick some stuff up from him, and Anders confirms that he really was an ancient magister because he's carrying a seal of Dumat that hasn't existed in over 1,000 years.
Yep.
My response is that doesn't fucking change anything. They still should not be blaming mages for shit.
Same. I was like, that doesn't mean that it's our fault. It means that these mages fucked up, but not all mages are the problem.
Yeah. Larius is coherent again because without Corypheus's call in his head, he can think. Which means that that Larius is like gonna try and go back to the Wardens.
Yeah, this made me suspicious because he becomes so stoic suddenly. I'm like, something's not right. I don't trust this. Yeah.
And like, you get no option to say anything about it, really.
Nope.
You could just be like, am I gonna get in trouble for killing that woman?
Yeah.
But no.
Nope.
He's just like, no, she went against orders. Nobody's gonna give a shit. And I'm like, oh, that's kind of sad.
And I know there's an epilogue, but like besides that, this mission basically just ends. Like there's a closeout with Varric and Cassandra again, but like Corypheus is just dead. There's no repercussions. Like it's very bizarre. And you and I will talk off mic about it because I look at this and go, wait a minute, this doesn't make any sense. But I don't want to spoil. It's related to the next game. I don't want to spoil stuff for folks who are playing for the first time. Anyway, but yeah. So then Larius leaves, and we leave and go home, and we are in our manor with our sibling, and can kind of have a little like post-mortem conversation about the experience we had and about our family.
Yeah. My moment with Bethany is all about how our family is tempting the blight. And then there is a little what if Leandra was alive moment.
Mm-hmm.
And Leandra talks about how Malcolm tried to fix the trouble he saw in others.
Mm-hmm.
and the best of him is with Hawk, and the best
Yeah.
of all of them is with Hawk. And I was like, oh, that's really sweet, Leandra.
Yeah, the Leandra part is the same, but the Carver part is him talking about how, it always felt like you had special treatment because you were a mage and I wasn't, but he did teach me how to use a sword, and I was even a better swordsman than him. And Hawk goes, he let you win. He's like, no, he was better with a staff and with magic, but with a sword, he trained me to be great and to protect our family while you guys were off training. And then Carver starts to leave, and he goes, oh, Hawk. And he goes, oh, brother. And you turn, he goes, never mind, and leaves. So, like, it's clear that Carver feels this more connectiveness, but I think is still harboring some of the jealousy, but is starting to come to terms with it. Like, it was almost as if he was going to turn to say something to you, something loving or kind, and then just didn't and left.
Bethany is a better person. She says, thank you for taking care of everything.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yay. Bethany's just better. I love
Yes.
her.
Carver
yeah.
has grown on me, but he was a petulant ass before, whereas he's less petulant now.
Hate Carver. And I will never not hate Carver.
That's fair.
But yeah, that's it. Which is interesting because it was long to play, but there just wasn't a lot of meat.
No, this wasn't very story focused. This was to do and not to talk. Whereas, like, Mark of the Assassin felt much meatier writing wise and character wise. Yeah.
I feel like
I have thoughts.
there were also more decisions to make with Mark of the Assassin, like the way that you did things. Whereas this one, there wasn't really all that much to decide.
No, and those decisions in Mark of the Assassin felt bigger or more important than these.
Yeah. So yeah, that's where we're at.
Yep. We have no fan mail this episode because the last episode, as of recording, hasn't aired yet due to our shift in schedule. So I'm sure we will have stuff maybe even doubled up for the next episode. But if you want to submit fan mail, you can go to our email, which we will share in a bit, or go to the Discord, which we will share in a bit. Those are the best places to communicate with us. But we might as well move right on to Fandom Corner.
Yeah, we still have more stuff to talk about. I would like to talk about Arcadia Falling 2!
Uh-huh.
You may remember in our last episode, I talked about Arcadia Fallen. Well, I got my hands on the sequel, and I played it twice already. It's extremely good. I have a lot of feelings about it. It takes place, I think, 7 years after the first game. You play an entirely different person. The outcome of the first game can be brought into the second game, or you can do a default world state.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's really cool. And like, the thing about the first game was that you could guide these different outcomes, but none of them were bad.
Right.
Like, none of them were bad outcomes inherently. They were just different, you know?
Right.
None of them had a moral assignment to them, which I really appreciated, because you could make a good argument for why do each different thing. And there's nothing wrong with any of it. And you could bring those decisions in to the second one. You play a mage student in your final year, about to graduate. You are fully an adult. And you learn that the Mage Academy is really hardcore and really intense, and people fight like hell to have good grades, because if they don't, then they don't have control over where they end up. Because mages, like in the world of Dragon Age, are viewed with suspicion. They are considered to be dangerous, so they have to be regulated by the government. So if you can't reach a certain threshold in your grades, then you have to do what the government says in terms of like where you end up and where you serve, so to speak. So if you're a rank C student, then you don't get a say. But if you're rank A or B, then you do get a say in where you end up living, if not necessarily what you end up doing with your life. For example, there's a character who would be an amazing journalist, but because she's a mage, and if you say this to her, she's like, I can't do that. I'm a mage. I'm not allowed to do that. I have to be a dancer and an entertainer. Like, I have to entertain noble people. I don't get to do the thing that I enjoy, which is sad. And the whole second game is about realizing that the system is fake, basically, and built on the whims of other people. And it can be torn down and set up to ruin you just as easily as it can be built to set you up for success. And I have a lot of feelings about it.
Yeah, gee, I wonder why.
And you technically are a person who could just walk away at any time and just be like, I'm just going to worry about myself. But that wouldn't be a very good story, now would it?
No.
So it is about why you become a hero and like your motivations for doing so. And none of those motivations are inherently wrong. Like, you can be motivated by the fact that you care about your friends and you want to be there for them. Or you could be motivated by like a moral imperative. Like, I know that this is wrong and I can't like let it happen. So it's very interesting. It's very emotional. There is the obligatory romance aspect, but you don't actually have to pursue romance, just like in the first one. But if you do, it's very sweet. I have done 2 of the romances so far. There are some characters from the first game that appear in the second game. In the first game, there's a kid named Kim. In the second game, Kim's all grown up, and he's one of your fellow students. That was the first romance that I did, and I don't regret it. Kim's romance is very cute because he's such a soft and gentle person, but he has a huge, like, magical ability. I'm glad that I was able to get the rest of that sentence out.
Yes.
He has, like, a really intense magical ability, and it's scary for him to have that kind of power because he could potentially hurt people, and he doesn't want to hurt people. He wants to be a person who does good and takes care of people. And I think he's really sweet. And then there's Elias, who is a demon hunter, and he's all messed up inside because he thought that this was going to be his destiny, and he's been training for so long, but ultimately you're the one that everybody turns to, and he's not the leader. So that's really hard for him to parse. And then there's Hannah, who has been fighting all of her life to have perfect grades so she can pursue her dream of being a soloist at the opera. Because being a mage, you have very limited options in the things that you get to do. And then there's Pook, who's very wealthy but doesn't give a shit because all Pook wants to do is create an airship and revolutionize the merchant experience and like make sure that people don't have to die at sea anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I love all of them.
I can tell.
They are all such good beans. Also, non-binary representation.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Did you like this game better than the first?
I think that this game benefited a lot from the first.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you could see how it took the first and really expanded on it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think it's a wonderful compliment. Like, it just grew from the first very beautifully. And there has to be a third, and in this third, I need to be able to romance Rune. Get that out there. Who's the developer of this game? It is by the Galdra Studios franchise. Galdra? Is that what you say? Yes, Galdra. Okay, listen here, Galdra Studios. I need a third game, and I need to be able to romance Rune. So, fucking make it happen. Because the fact that I can't smooch Rune is a crime. 2 games now I haven't been able to smooch Rune. It's very upsetting.
Okay.
I will show you Rune and you will agree.
I believe you.
He's a bard, and I love him.
Okay.
Anyway, that's me.
Okay.
What do you have?
So I'm bringing an oldie but a goodie. I was asked to guest on an upcoming episode of Nostalgium Arcanum. I'm not sure when it'll air, it could be out by now. It might not be out yet, but keep an eye out for it. But I was asked to cover a movie, and I picked Spider-Man from 2002, the original Tobey Maguire, Sam Raimi Spider-Man movie. And so I rewatched it recently, and poor CGI aside, which is kind of the effect of a lot of movies of that time, it really holds up. The only thing that broke the illusion for me and I had to push through that I would have never thought about as a kid is all of these 20-year-olds playing high school students.
Yep.
It's less obvious with Tobey Maguire and Kirsten Dunst, but Joe Manganiello, who I love, is just as gigantic as he's ever been as Flash Thompson, and it's like there's no way that giant ass dude is in high school. But the story still holds up. The writing, I'm a big Sam Raimi fan, and like his cinematography and directing style is all over it. Willem Dafoe remains one of the best actors of all time, and his portrayal of the Green Goblin in this film is pitch perfect and flawless. The mirror scene where he argues with himself and they keep swapping back and forth between the mannerisms of him and the Goblin, like it's a masterclass. And the movie's great. Like it has some minor flaws in the CGI and some of the presentation, but like the wrestling scene with Macho Man Randy Savage, and like it's funny too. At first, I remember there's a line famously when Bonesaw attacks Spider-Man in the ring and he jumps away. Spider-Man's quip back is, "Oh, that's a cute outfit. Did your boyfriend make it for you?" Which is very homophobic. And as I've returned to it, I was like, oh, that line, it doesn't age well. But that whole arc of Spider-Man at the wrestling match is like, he's just doing it to get a car to impress Mary Jane. He's an asshole. He lets the criminal get away. And he's basically a dick through that whole arc until, spoiler alert, Uncle Ben dies. And he realizes how terrible he's been. And so actually, while the line obviously is not great, it's aged well in the context
into the narrative structure. Him
being short-sighted and just saying the first thing that comes to him. Yeah. So
I get that.
It was just fun. Like, this movie is full of so many quotable lines, Bonesaw's ready when he's getting in the ring, and like the whole Green Goblin argument scene, the the best casting in the history of comic book adaptations forever and ever will be J.K. Simmons, J. Jonah Jameson. Like, he literally becomes a 40s mogul with a cigar in his mouth, like literally translating the comics to life. It's why they brought him back in the later movies. Like, he is just pitch perfect as that character, and I can't help but laugh every time he's on screen. It's so good.
He's pretty good.
Also, like, he's terrible to Peter Parker. But then when the Green Goblin threatens him and asks who takes photos of Spider-Man, he doesn't sell him out. He's like, I don't know. They mail them in. Like, it shows that he has integrity, too. He's just an asshole, which I love that arc for that character, too, over the movies. It's not Spider-Man 2. Spider-Man 2 with Doc Ock is probably one of the best comic book movies ever made. But I was worried revisiting this, it wouldn't hold up, especially because I do really like a lot of the newer Tom Holland stuff. But it actually holds up really well. Tobey Maguire's performance as Peter and as Spidey is very good. We know James Franco sucks and he's a terrible person, but he's actually good in these movies as Harry. He walks this line of like friend and asshole really well, which is what the character requires. And the worst thing about Kirsten Dunst is her dye job. The rest of it is great. That and the famous upside down kissing scene, especially after all the interviews they've done about how terrible it was and how they almost both got sick because of all the water. Like, it looks uncomfortable to watch. And like, when you're like a teenager, you're like, yeah, that's awesome. So cool. As an adult, I'm like, oh, that seems terrible. Why are you doing that?
No, thank you. I will say Spider-Man 2 has one of the best soundtracks. I do love that soundtrack.
It's a great soundtrack, and like Alfred Molina's performance as Doc Ock, and the clip. For those who don't know, Alfred Molina also played the role of Tevye in The Fiddler on the Roof on Broadway around the same time. And there's this great 18-second clip of when Doc Ock first wakes up and he's groaning, and then he looks up and the tentacles look up because they're sentient, they're puppeteered, and he starts singing "If I Were a Rich Man" with the tentacles clapping along. It's so stupid. It's so funny. Shows the charm, and I mean, Alfred Molina is incredibly charming as Dr. Octavius in the second film. But yeah,
Agree.
the first movie holds up really well. I really loved it. You can keep an eye on my socials for when that episode of Nostalgia Arcanum comes out. If it's out by the time this goes up, I'll link it in the show notes. But yeah, it was fun to revisit it. And both me and Doug immediately went, all right, so we have to cover the second one, right? Because it's better. And so we will probably do that at some point. We may do the whole trilogy, because while the third movie is so incredibly flawed, the actor who plays Sandman in it is so good.
Oh, he was good.
He's so good.
It's the only good part of that
Thomas
movie.
Hayden Church, I believe, is his name. He's the best part of the whole film.
Yeah.
And like, he's
right.
very good, but like everything else about it, they ruin Venom as a character. They don't even say his name in the entire film. It's a thing. It's a thing I will shout from the rooftops every time. Is like, he never says his name. We don't know he's Venom because he never says it.
I'm sorry.
The symbiote, like, evil Toby stuff, all of it's bad, but I think worth revisiting anyway, because I am nostalgic for it, because that trilogy was important to me. Like, those three Spider-Man movies were like, I like the X-Men movies, but there's something about those Spider-Man movies, and because they were directed by one of my favorite directors, like, that really make them special. And like, I will still say the Andrew Garfield films are not great, but I like Andrew Garfield a lot in them. I like his portrayal of Peter in Spider-Man, and like,
I am the same.
And like, I like what they were trying to do. They were flawed, but like, I don't think they're bad movies. I think they are definitely far from perfect. I even have critiques about the Tom Holland movies, like the fact that he's a Nepo baby in the first Spider-Man, basically getting all his gear from Iron Man, drives me absolutely goddamn bonkers, because he's a genius. Thankfully, in the new movie Brand New Day, which is coming out this summer, it looks like there was a quick clip of him building his own web shooters, which, like, thank God, because that's who Peter always was a genius, right? Like, even in this first movie, he has the organic web shooters, which are gross. But like, he makes his own suit. He rigs up how to take photos of himself while he's fighting crime, all of that stuff. Anyway, it's worth revisiting. If you haven't watched Spider-Man 2002 in a while, it's definitely worth going back to. Also one of the best Bruce Campbell cameos of all time as the ring announcer at the wrestling match.
Bruce Campbell.
So yeah, so shout out to Spider-Man
He called
2002.
me Turtle Dove once.
Yeah, he's a sweetie. All right, so next episode, we do the last straw. It's the final mission, and
it's the final mission.
I'll see if I can sync that up in post. If not, you'll suffer. And for the first time in a long time this season, we have our third guest of the season. I thought about it the other day. We had Troidal Power, we had Andrew McMahon, and now we're having this third guest. But he is a regular amongst our episodes and a fellow deep-seated BioWare fan. The one and only Ken Shepard is returning to discuss the Templar Mage War and the closing of this game with us. We're very excited to have him back.
My arch nemesis.
Your arch nemesis. We're excited to have him back. He'll be joining us for the final mission episode of the season. And then after that, it's just our post-mortem. I don't think we're going to do any kind of roundtable this season. I don't think it would really work with Dragon Age 2.
Yeah, I don't think so.
But maybe for the future games, or you can bet your ass once we finish the franchise, we will do some kind of roundtable like we did for the Mass Effect trilogy. So tune in for that. We'll see you in 2 weeks. But for now, let's wrap up and get out of here.
Yeah. So if you like what you heard here, you can follow us on social media. We're at Reignite Pod on Blue Sky, YouTube, and Instagram. Or you can send us an email at reignitepod@gmail.com. You can also find us on Blue Sky as Frankie B. Writes and DJ Stormageddon.
Rate, review, and subscribe on your favorite podcatcher if you can. It helps us get seen and more folks to find the podcast. It's the best free way you can support any podcast that you listen to, is just giving them a quick rating and or review.
We're members of the Certain Point of View Network. You can visit certainpov.com to find more nerdy podcasts, each with a unique point of view. You can also find a permanent invite link to our Discord server on the website, where you can join the conversation.
please come through on the Discord. We love having folks chat up these episodes, other podcasts, other topics. We talk about video games, comic books, TV, so much more. Come hang out. The Discord is livelier than ever. We have a really great community that I'm very thankful for. So come hang out with us. As for personal plugs, the big one for me is in September, Labor Day weekend. I am going to be back in Seattle for PAX West for not one, but 2 panels. More details to come on that. And I, of course, will be covering the event as media, along with my incredible co-host, Jen Moonen, for Fun and Games. Please say hi if you're there. I'm really excited to be going back to PAX West. It's been a few years, and I do love going to Seattle. I may also get to see our mutual friend, Anastasia, who I'm very excited to see. I miss desperately. Her child is growing up too fast, and it freaks me the hell out. But that's a me problem because I'm getting old.
I'm sorry. My brain can't stop going, they're back in Seattle again.
Blech.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, you're fired.
That's all I can do.
Yeah.
Anyway, you want to know what I'm up to?
Sure, I'd love to.
I'm trying not to die.
Yeah, I mean, same. Big same, bestie.
Now that Harley is back from her trip to America and to London for the Royal Ascot, we are back to working on the Romance Society bookshop. So if you would like to support us in trying to make this dream come true, you can follow us at Romance Society Books on Instagram and TikTok. And also we have a Facebook page right now because Harley is on top of her game. So follow us, keep an eye out, support us. We're going to have a Kickstarter at some point, and we could use your help. Because I would really, 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 really like to have this bookstore and not continue job hunting.
That would be awesome. And once the Kickstarter is live, whenever that is, it will show up on our socials for Reignite as well, and on the in the show notes as well.
Yes.
We'd also, of course, now that we're through all the promo, to thank the one and only Case Aiken for developing some awesome t-shirt designs that you can find on certainpov.com or on Teespring. Also, Case designs each individual episode show art, so thank you for that as well. We love you.
Case is so patient.
Yes.
We'd like to thank Miracle of Sound for our theme music. If you've been jamming along, then you should head over to miracleofsound.rocks and check out Gavin Dunn's other music and merch.
Also, thank you to Red Spinks for our Dragon Age-inspired logo. To see more of his work, you can go to Chaos Does Art on Instagram.
And lastly, thank you for listening. I'm Frankie.
And I am at AK Stormageddon.
And remember, listener, all Templars are bastards.
Fight for your values and fight for your friends. Fight through this fight, find the light at the end. Through the age of the dragon, the people will talk of the day they were saved by a hero named Hawk. Hawk, 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 Hawk.
So Many Games is an independent video game website from a group of passionate people. With a team of over 10 writers doing their bit for game discoverability, you'll surely find a game that will pique your interest. Our reviews delve into the main elements of the game and how they made us feel. With unbased but fair critique and AI-free writing, we hope to offer you a safe place to find out if a game is worthy of your time. But we also write articles from Steam Next Fest catch-ups to topics of interest from the gaming world. And we also publish written interviews from developers to voice actors on our bid to shine some light on the people behind our favourite games. But that's not all, as we also offer a monthly podcast interviewing developers, artists, composers, voice actors, and anyone else we can think of to come and talk about their experiences of making their latest or not so latest projects in real time. With a fortnightly newsletter to go on top of our offerings, there really is something for everybody. So what are you waiting for? Get on over to somanygames.co.uk and see for yourself all the amazing content that we have waiting for you.
CPOV. CertainPOV.com.